Welcome back, my fellow Python programmers, to a brand new video, and in this one we're going to be building a dictionary login system as a Python exercise. And we'll be covering the following topics. So if at any point you feel that you're enjoying the contents of this video, please make sure to smash that like button because I need to beat the YouTube algorithm. And let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is going to be the login system program guide. Again, I'm not going to go through this many times. Hopefully you're not new to this channel. Basically, this is the guide. You can follow with this guide step by step, try to do this on your own and then watch me, or you can simply go and code alongside with me. You can also start on your own, and then if you get stuck somewhere, you can go and watch where I got to and then continue from there, etc, etc. So first of all, you'll need to create a dictionary in which the keys are the usernames and the values are the passwords. So this is your first step to working with dictionaries. If you don't know how dictionaries work, you can always go back to the video where I explain them. I'm going to link it somewhere right here at the top. So the keys are the usernames, the values are the passwords. You do your own. I would recommend that you create 2 or 3 usernames and 1 admin. And keep it simple, just keep the usernames user1, user2. The passwords also keep them simple. We need those to test things out. Next, you'll need to create a function in which the user must enter a username and a password in order to sign in. So this is going to be the login system function. So 2 inputs, the username and the password. If they match, then indicate that the user has successfully logged in. Have a simple printout. Very simple. Otherwise, refuse the user's entry. And finally, test it out by calling the function and logging in using the usernames and passwords that you've created. So pause the video right now and go try the program guide. Okay, so as you can see right here, we've created our user credentials dictionary. First, how did we know that this is a dictionary? Well, because you can see that we have these 2 squiggly brackets around. But that is not all. This can also be a set. A set also has these squiggly brackets around it. So we also need to look inside of our dictionary right here, and we can clearly see that we have key value pairs. And how are these key value pairs separated? They are separated by a colon. Something to keep in mind as you're writing these users and you're adding these keys and value pairs, you'll notice that if I have 2 user2 right here, I get an error. Well, not an error, this is actually a warning, and this says that the dictionary contains duplicate keys user2. You cannot have 2 keys that are the same inside of a dictionary. It won't cause any issues, but it's not how the dictionaries work. What would happen in this case, if you call user2, let's say we have 420, which is kind of funny, but anyways, if we do have user2 right here with a pass 456 and a user2 with a pass 420, then if we try to access user2, like for example right here, as you can see, when I right click and I run, I get pass 420 and not pass 456. So something very important to keep in mind when working with dictionaries. Okay, so in here we've created a new, or we've defined a new function called the login system using the def keyword, something that we've covered a long time ago. This function will allow the user to log in their credentials. And first we prompt the user to enter the username using the input, and then we prompt them to enter the password using the input function. And this is pretty straightforward, nothing too much in here. I'm simply going to remove the second user. Okay, so now in here we are checking if the credentials that the user entered are correct. So we validate these credentials using 2 checks. The first one verifies whether the username that they entered is actually part of the user's credential, and the way we do this is using the in. This step ensures that the username provided by the user actually matches one that is registered in the system. When using the in comparison between a username and the user credential, basically what we're doing is we're taking the username value and going through every single key and checking if it is indeed part of the user's credential dictionaries. This is very similar to how we go through lists. Now the second condition right here compares the password associated with the given username in the dictionary to the password entered by the user. And then we access the password using the key in between the square brackets. So keep in mind, when we're working with an AND, we need both of these conditions to be true. If both conditions are met, which means that the username exists and the entered password matches the stored password, then the function proceeds to execute the code inside of the if statement. So again, we need both conditions to be true in order to enter. If the username exists, which means that this part of the condition is true, but the username or the password at that username is not equal to the password that the user entered, then it will not work, because this part of the condition or this side of the AND will be false. So we need both of them to be true, otherwise we are going to get a failed login. And now the last thing that we need to do is to simply call in this login system in order to call the function. So when I right click and I run, boom, there we go. I'm prompted to enter the username. Let's just try a bad username with a bad password. Boom, login failed. Let's try to run this again, and I'm going to enter, let's try user 1, boom, and then I try pass 456. Keep in mind, this is user 1, so pass 456, login failed. Let's try one last time with a correct user 1 and the password 123. Hit enter, boom, you have successfully logged in. Okay, fellow Python programmers, congratulations on finishing this very simple exercise. It was great because you learned how you can check if a key is in a dictionary, the way we did with the usernames, and you also now know how to access values using those specific keys where we were checking for the password on that certain username. But now it's time for a bit of a challenge where you need to complete this entire login system with a sign up and just a general good main. So let's go ahead and continue on. Okay, so now this is going to be your challenge to sign me up. Create two functions, sign up system and the main, to choose whether to sign in or sign up. This is for the main, of course. So first of all, let's talk about the sign up function. You'll need to ask the user to input their new username. If the username already exists, then they are prompted to enter another username with indication, meaning that you'll need to tell them, yo, you need a new username, and you need to keep doing this until they provide a unique username. So I can think of a good way of doing this, until they provide a good username. Next, you prompt the user to input a password for their new username and add the new user to the user's dictionary. So this is going to be the sign up function. Oh, and also, of course, you need to test it out by adding some usernames. Now you're going to go to the main function, ask the user if they would like to log in or if they would like to sign up. Of course, they have the option, and based on that option, you call one of the functions. Based on the input call, call either of the functions. And then try logging in the new added users from the signup function. So once you complete the signup function and you know that it works, I want you to use that signup function to add a few more users and then try to log them in through the main function. So pause the video right now and go do the challenge. Okay, so we begin by defining a new function, that is the signup system. As you can see, I use the arrow right here just to take down the login system because we don't need to change anything about it. And I simply have a small print out just so we can differentiate between the logging in and the signup system. If you want, you can also add a line right here in the login system, but that is for you to decide. Okay, so in here we create a while loop to continuously prompt the user for a username until they choose one that isn't already taken. And the way we do this is something that I told you about, or I gave you a small hint of in the challenge slide. We use a while true loop. So the user is asked to choose a username. In this case, once they input something into the prompt, we get the new username variable. We then check if this new username already exists in the user credentials dictionary. If the username is found, then we print out that this username is already taken, please choose another one. But if the username is not found, then we simply break out of our function, break out of our loop using, of course, the break, allowing the user then to move on to the next step, which is going to be inputting a password. And of course, the password can be anything because the password can be unique to every user and you might have two similar passwords. Okay, and now it's time for the final step in our sign-up system, and that is to update the user's credential dictionary with this new key value pair. And the way we do this is by simply accessing the user credential dictionary with the new username, and because this new username does not already exist in the dictionary, then a new key is going to be created with the key being the new username, and then will be assigned the value new password, and that way we create a new user in our dictionary. And finally, we also print out sign up successful. You can now log in with your new account. Now let's continue on to the main function. Okay, so this is going to be our main function. As you can see, nothing too much in here, a simple while true loop because we want to keep asking, because I want to log in and sign up several times so we can test this out. But usually what you would do is you would simply have a breakpoint or two breaks right here, once they choose to log in and once they choose to sign up. Then after you call the function, you simply break out of this entire loop. But because we're testing, actually, you know what? I'm just going to, there we go. I'm going to comment them out and let's continue on. We get the action in here. So I called it action. This can also be user input or action or whatever you want. Then we have the input function. Do you want to log in or you want to sign up? And then we tell them that they should either write login or sign up. And then I put it to down to lower, which if I hover over this, it gives me returns a copy of the string converted to the lowercase. Why? Because someone might be entering on a keyboard where they put the first letter in the uppercase. So we want to take it down to the lower so that we can then compare it right here. And you'll see that this is something that's very common if you want to compare strings, because maybe somebody doesn't just have the first key in the uppercase, they might have G in the uppercase. And remember, when comparing strings in Python, capital letters are different than lowercase letters. So we take in the input, we lower it down in case there are any uppercase letters, and then we check if the action, which is the input, is equal to the login. Then we call the login system. Elif, we call the sign up system. Else, if the user just enters something random, we tell them please enter login or sign up. Maybe this should be like that, and boom, should be working. So let's go ahead and call this function and test it out. So instead of the login system, I'm going to say main right here, and when I right click and I run, boom, there we go. Do you want to log in or do you want to sign up? So for example, if I type in something random, hit enter, please enter login or sign up. So login, boom, enter the username, user2, and then the password, pass456, was it? Yes, you have successfully logged in. Excellent. Now let's go ahead and try and sign up. So I'm going to sign up. Boom. What's your new account? I'm going to say that it's Michael, lowercase, Michael. The password will be 123. Hit enter. Sign up successful. You can now log in with your new account. Let's try logging in with Michael with a password of 123. Boom, you have successfully logged in. How cool is that? So we were able to add to our dictionary as well as go through its values and go through everything. So One more thing I would like to do in here is I would actually like to print out my dictionary once we've actually signed up. So after signing up, sign up successful, I'm simply going to print this out, and it will look very ugly, but this is just for testing. So I'm going to print out the user credentials. Right click and run. You want to log in, or do you want to log in or want to sign up? Do you want to log in? So okay, there we go. I was like, wait, I did not put that. That's not really like professional. So anyways, sign up, boom, sign up to your new account, choose your username, again, Michael, incorrectly written, Michael 159, hit enter, successfully signed up. So as you can see, we have user 1, password 123, user 2, pass 456, admin, and finally we have Michael. Let's try signing up again, and in here we can have Kalen, and then 456, hit enter, boom. As you can see, we have Kalen, and if we try to I mean log in, you know what, probably calling it sign in would have been more coherent with the sign up, but anyways, who cares. Kalen, if we try Kalen, let's try a wrong password, like 66, hit enter, login failed, incorrect username or password, boom, there we go. So we have to log in, Kalen 456, and now you have successfully logged in. All right, fellow Python programmers, congratulations on making it this far. We've gone through a lot of things when it comes to dictionaries. We've understood how we can check if a certain key is already available to us in our dictionary. We also were able to access values or access the value at a certain key, and we also learned how we can add new entries with new keys and new values into our already existing dictionary. So we've gone through a few things. So now it's time for you to continue on your Python programming journey with a new exercise, which I don't know what will that be right here. Yes, I can see you have enough space for the thumbnail of the next video you should watch. Continue your Python programming journey. Let's go. New exercise. Let's go. Leave a like and subscribe. Nice. Let's go.